Hey, what is going on, guys? How the hell are you? Welcome to a special edition of From Grateful to Greatness. I am your host, Mario Kaleo, and every episode of From Grateful to Greatness begins with me being grateful. So, I'm grateful for my wife, my family, my friends, everybody who follows me on social media, all of you for taking the time to watch these videos, and God and the universe for allowing your boy another day on this planet to talk to you. I say special edition because this is going to be kind of like a series of different, not versions, but different videos I do that are from Grateful to Greatness, but we're going to be talking about something specific. It's going to have a theme. And yeah, I wanted to start this one today, man, because I just got out the gym, legs, back, boom, boom, boom. I feel good, man. It's the last workout of the week. And I'm pumped, man. I wanted to talk about this while the endorphins were in high gear, the pre-workouts in high gear. I'm a fucking maniac, man. So, if you saw the title, it was What We Learned from Will Hunting. I wanted to do these videos because, for a few reasons. One, I love movies. You guys know on my channel I do movie reviews sometimes, TV show reviews. I love movies. I love comic books. I love TV shows that are, things that are in the vein of the kind of stuff I like. But I try, whenever I watch something, to really learn from it. I try to get something out of everything I watch, unless it's like a dumbass comedy. Then what are you going to get out of that other than laughs? But when I watch something like, Arrow, or I watch something like The Shawshank Redemption, I try to find things that parallel real life. I try to find things you can learn from it that can apply to your own life. And so I thought the other day, I was like, man, it'd be kind of cool to talk about what we learn from certain movie characters or certain fictional characters from books or maybe comics, whatever the case may be. And, obviously, the obvious thing I could have started with was Rocky or Batman, but you know what? I thought, let's not be obvious. Let's go with something a little less obvious. One of my favorite movies of all time, and I'm talking like top 5 of all time, is Good Will Hunting. I don't know how many of you have seen it. If you haven't, you must have been under a fucking rock. It is one of the best movies I've ever seen, and it stars Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. It was directed by Gus Van Sant. And a lot of people don't know this, executive produced by Kevin Smith. Good Will Hunting tells the story of Will Hunting, played by Matt Damon, who lives in Boston, and he's kind of like a troubled guy. He gets into fights, he's been arrested quite a few times, and he's on probation at the moment where we pick up being a janitor at MIT. His friends are Ben Affleck, Casey Affleck, and the other guy, I don't know his name. And in the story, Matt Damon finally gets into the last bit of shit that the police are like, you know what, fuck this, we're tired of dealing with you, you're going to jail. And this guy from MIT discovers the fact that Matt Damon, Will Hunting, is actually a genius, a mathematical genius. And he's basically been holding it back the whole time because for whatever reason, he likes just chilling with his friends. He doesn't want to go above and beyond because it's scary to him. So what happens is the police, or not the police, the court orders that Will Hunting have to go through psychiatric evaluation to see a therapist. They go through multiple therapists, nothing works, and then finally the guy from MIT is like, I know one person, and it's Robin Williams, the late great Robin Williams, in one of probably his, easily one of his best roles. I think he got an Oscar for this, actually. So Robin Williams is also from Boston, just the same neighborhood as Will Hunting, and he becomes a psychiatrist, and he really challenges Will in a way he never has been challenged before, and he starts opening up little by little about his past, where he came from, and then also about a woman he's met recently, played by Minnie Driver, who he is starting to fall in love with because he's never met anyone like her. And throughout the course of the movie, you just start to learn that Will is this really, really intelligent, unbelievably high-level genius, but he's just tormented by anger and all these things that he went through as a child. And you learn as the movie goes on that Will was bounced from foster home to foster home and was physically, and I mean physically, abused badly by some of his foster parents. And he has these trust issues. He has these abandonment issues. And finally, you know, if you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, Robin Williams finally truly breaks through to Will, and he cries. He breaks down, and Robin Williams lets him know, like, it's not your fault, all this stuff that happened to you. Like, you can move past this stuff. It's not your fault what they did to you. And that's finally the moment where Will is like, because throughout the movie, Will is like, doesn't want to go on these job interviews that MIT is setting up for him because he doesn't know really what he wants to do. But it's not so much that he doesn't know what he wants to do. It's the fact that he's not really ready to let the past go and embrace his full potential. And, you know, that would mean leaving Boston. That would mean, you know, going into a totally unknown world. But this unknown world is where he belongs. He doesn't really belong where he is. And his friend, played by Ben Affleck, Chucky, literally tells him that in a scene. He's like, dude, like, you're not supposed to be here. Like, you're not supposed to work in construction. You're supposed to be doing something great. And so I love this movie, if you guys can't tell the passion which I'm talking about it in. And I think the thing you can learn from this character and from this movie is, you know, stop hiding your potential. All of us have this greatness within us that we, for some reason, suppress because now, you know, not all of us are fucking geniuses, but we all have our version of this. I lived like that for years, man, years, afraid to unleash this version that you guys have come to know. This guy was hiding inside all my life, but I was so afraid of what people would think. I was afraid of letting go of the lifestyle I was living, going out, partying, eating whatever I wanted, smoking cigarettes like I was gonna, you know, like they were gonna be outlawed the next day. I was so afraid to let that life go because it was a life of security and safety, and nothing about it was challenging. It was easy. I didn't have to go above and beyond. I didn't have to work hard. I didn't have to do anything really of value. I just had to go to work and do what I did, and nobody challenged me. And I feel like this movie, for one, talks about that so greatly and so vividly, where the whole purpose of it is like, man, you got all this gift inside you and you're hiding it. You're keeping it in because you're afraid of leaving this life of security and comfort, when you're denying not only yourself, but the world, something that the world could benefit from, that the world could benefit from your greatness. And this doesn't, like, once again, I'm going to say it again, you don't have to be a genius, but every single person, everybody watching this, everybody out there has something inside, some gift that you are either, you know, suppressing out of fear or suppressing out of laziness, or maybe both, but you are denying not only your soul, but the world, this great contribution that we all sorely need. All of us need this. All of us need you at your best to show us what's possible. The other one last thing I think this movie shows is what I'm always talking about, turning your pain into power. And a lot of these movie characters that we'll talk about do kind of touch on that subject, but I think Will especially does, because here is a guy who was beaten and really just beaten down and left with a lot of really messed up mental issues that were holding him back. They were holding him back, and he was using them as an excuse to stay who he was and not really facing them, acting as if they weren't some problem, being sarcastic, you know, laughing it off, when in reality, that pain he was holding on to was going to hamper him the rest of his life if he never found a way to let it go. And thankfully, Robin Williams broke through to him in the movie, and he finally was able to move past it and, you know, go live out whatever potential he wanted to live out of himself. And I think that's the two things you could take from Good Will Hunting. I'm sure there's other messages in there, but, you know, I really believe that, you know, not being I say, you know, a lot. I apologize. You know. I think that Good Will Hunting teaches us to not be afraid to let your true potential out, not be afraid of what people are going to think of it, not be afraid of going after it because of the work that's going to take, the effort. And I'd also think it also teaches you to not let the past be this monster that you can never get past. Nope, not let the past hold you back to the point where it is literally keeping you from becoming the best version of yourself. If you've never seen Good Will Hunting, man, check it out. And if you have, comment on this video. Let me know what you think, and let me know if I missed any themes of it, man. I'm sure I did. The movie's richly layered. I could have easily missed some stuff. So, as always, guys, share this message if it hits home. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. And remember, all you need is a start and some heart. Peace.